Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Doctor Who Energy Dragon figure. So for those of you who are unaware what this is, Doctor Who's a third-party company and their Energy Dragon is a take on Generation 1 Trypticon. However, this is a special version. This is the metal colour, so it will look slightly different to the stock image you can see there. What we're going to do with this video then, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a look at him in all four modes. Now he's got four actually designed modes, and they are of course the dinosaur mode, a base mode, a rolling attack station, and indeed a cube. I'm going to show you all of them on here. We're then going to do some comparisons with him and some other, and I'm saying legend scale figures, even though this is just even smaller. You'll be really surprised to see how much smaller he is. So we've got some Magic Square, some New Age, we've got some Hasbro Standard Core Class, and because he's as small as he is, I'm going to bring in the Masterpiece, the small Masterpiece Optimus Prime figure from the Jetfire. And again, for what it's worth, I don't think we're going to do a very good comparison. He's just behind there. There is, of course, the original G1 Trypticon. I'm not even going to attempt to do the comparison with the Titan version of this. But what I'm going to do, as I'm popping these down, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if I'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. So yeah, we're going to do loads of comparisons in a second as well. So as I've said, yeah, this figure is the one that's intrigued me for ages. On this channel, I do lots of news updates when I see new figures revealed, and this was the first images that we saw. So this is just the normal sort of like matte coloured version of this figure, and I instantly loved it. Since then, there's been so many different versions of this, but this particular one now, this metal colour one, that was the straw, as they say, that broke the donkey's proverbial back, if we're talking about my willpower. This was the version that I saw, and I thought, nope, I've got to get this. I've got to have a look, see what's going on with these particular figures. And as I say, I don't know if they're classed as legend scale, because they are that little bit smaller. You'll see exactly what I mean. But this has got a beautiful collector's card in as well, which is again very much like the Japanese Generation 1 figures, and indeed what they still do with the Masterpiece figures, because funnily enough it's a little bit smaller than the Masterpiece Skyfire one I've got here as well. Same sort of idea though, it's got the stats and everything on it. Let's pop that there. We've got the instructions, and I'm going to be doing a separate instructional tutorial on this, but you can see here the interesting thing is they're pretty good, but it's got no cube mode and it's got no instructions as to what you're supposed to do as soon as you take him out of the box. Because if we have a look at him here now, when we take him out, I'm going to just very quickly show you how to take him into the first mode. This is beautiful though. Look at this, look at the colours, look at it pop in, and again the metallic finish on it is what swayed me. So if I take him out of the bag like so, I've got to confess, had a quick little play around with this. Usually I like to do first impressions, which I'm still going to do, but I've had to take him out of the bag and have a look at him, and look at it, it's beautiful. See all the reflectiveness, metallic colour, see the silver there, all the little detail on the guns. This is legitimately, this is a little full tilt figure. There you go. And as you can see, he even stands up on him as well. He stands on the base. It's so cool. It really is. You can obviously make it, that's the head, and as I say, this is the way he comes, which is obviously nothing. So if you want to get him in one particular mode straight off, let's take him into, I suppose, the rolling or the attack battle station. So not the normal base where he's all what's the word, transformed out. This should be tabbed in there, by the way. That's just come out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this part forward, which is the head, which is going to enable me to take this out of here. Now, one of the main reasons it took me a bit of time doing this is, and I read this myself and I told everybody as well, and I'm going to make you guys aware, all the joints on this are incredibly tight. I mean, I've snapped a couple of nails. Literally, it's been awful trying to transform this. So you've got to be super careful. What I'm doing is I'm taking out the main laser there and folding this back down. I'm just going to point that at a little bit of an angle. So because it's one of these smaller figures, everything's super clever, super intricate. It all folds out of itself. I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to pop that there as well. I'm then going to disconnect the arm and then slightly raise this up and then bring the forearm back down. So this is going to be the arm. I'm going to raise this part up, push the forearm back down so I can then attach this via that silver tab up in the air. And then this is brilliant. Look at this. Spring-loaded cannons, mechanisms, brilliant. It's so good. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to just disconnect it so I can lift the upper part of the arm up just to angle this and then bring the claw down. Doesn't matter, this comes off. This does separately tab off. So we're lifting this slightly up, bringing the claw down, and then I'm going to reattach via this tab into there like so. And I'm going to fire that out as well. Last thing to do is this part. So we're going to open up this, and this part here is super stiff. Push at the bottom as well as holding in that tab. Fold this out like so. Close that up. Turn the guns out on either side. And then this is, I suppose, your rolling attack base mode, shall we say. Look how good that is. And this is the weakest mode, in all honesty. This is the weakest. It's just so good. Again, to give you an idea, if you're like me and you used to only collect mainline figures, I want to give you an idea, as I say, of how small this is. There's a Generation 1 Hot Rod. Here's a standard deluxe figure that's out now. Here's a standard core class figure that's out now. Even standing up like that, it's just about as tall. When he's going to be in his dragon mode in a second, I think he's 2.3 inches tall. He's absolutely tiny. Right, I think that's pretty much it for this. We are going to come back. In fact, let's put that little Optimus Prime there. There you go. We're going to come back in a second then, and he's going to be in his dragon mode. Okay, we're back and he's in his now dragon mode. So quick apology, no transformation process on this video. Couple of reasons. The first and main one is to keep the main length of this video down. The second is to not really spoil it for anybody who wants to get one of these themselves. And the other is, like I said in the other part, in all honesty, it takes ages to transform him. It's really intricate. Mine especially is incredibly stiff, and I wanted to give a tutorial giving people hints and tips so as not to damage it. But look how good this guy looks. It's brilliant. Articulation wise, there is loads, and I know that sounds crazy. So you've got the tail here at the back, which you can move up and down. Even this bit, all of these move individually. So this part here, this part here, this part here, they all move. You obviously got the main hip part at the top. When you're moving this around and transforming it, I would strongly suggest holding it with two hands and right by every single joint, because everything is so stiff. Then it moves at the knees as well. They move out. There's a huge ball and socket you can see at the bottom, so you've got full ankle tilt, rock, absolutely everything. The arms are the same. They've got obviously articulation points there halfway up. The claws you can open and close. The mouth you can open and close. You can open the top part. Can I get my nails under this? You can open this. Let's have a quick go at it. At the moment I'm struggling, but I will get it open. There we go. In a second. Just want to get, there we go. So you can then angle the gun, or the blaster, shall we say, as well. There's so much you can do with this. And as I said, he is tiny. There you go. 3.5 inches with everything, as I say, all sticking up. 4 inches if you include these cannons, just under. Absolutely tiny. So I don't even know if he classes as, I say, a real legend scale. There's Magic Square's Trailbreaker, who's taller than him. There's not Iron Factories. There is New Age's Hawk, which is their take on Ironhide. And then we've got Kang Toys. This is their take on Dive Bomb. And these are all classed as legend scale figures. And as you can see, he's tiny compared to these. Right, so with regards to some of the newer figures, or some mainline figures, Studio Series Deluxe Bumblebee for once actually looks gigantic. And he never does. Core Class Grimlock, again, looks normal sort of size compared to him. And indeed, let's bring in this tiny little Optimus as well. That's not scaled too bad, actually. There you go. Let's just have another quick spin around, showing you some details on him. In fact, I've got here, didn't think of this. Let's see how big he is compared to a cassette. There you go. That gives you an idea of just how small he is. So, as you say, this is the metallic version. You can see everything shining, looking great. I've gotten, this figure's blown my mind. It's just so good. I've just realised there's one other thing we haven't done. I'm going to actually really attempt to do this. So, right, up to his feet. Is it up to his feet? Let's bring this back, lift this up. Excuse, you can see my workstation, it's not the cleanest, it's not the best. He could easily fit under there. Yeah, it's just a bit smaller than the head, isn't he? He's absolutely tiny. Right, let's move on to the battle station mode. So we're back again. This time he's in the base mode, and again the transformation process is on a separate video because it just takes so long. But you can see how good this looks. This is brilliant. You can pretty much tell how everything's all folded out amongst itself. It's brilliant. It's so clever. It's so intricate. You've got all these little details. You've got a choice actually how you want these silver towers to be. On the transformation process, again, I gave you a choice. You can either go this way around. In fact, you guys let me know what you think's best in the comments. I'm going to give you both as an option. So all I'm doing is connecting them here via this tab, which is going in at the, where is it? Keeps missing it. There we go. So you can either go this way with the silver up on there as well, which is the way that I initially transformed it, to be fair, in the video. But if you look at some of the pictures online, it's got it the other way around. So what you do is you just rotate this around, that bit gets covered at the back, and then you've got this here. I think that's either way looks good. I'm just again showing you for the purpose of this review all the ways that you can do it. This gun can move up and down. You can move these as well if you wanted to. You can even, can you move that as well? No, you'd have to move the whole arm to go with it, which is still cool. You can stand full tilt there if you wanted to. You could stand him on this platform there as well. Whether or not you can connect him to other things like a Motormaster, I do not know, which is of course exactly what you could do on the G1 version. You've got these ramps which come all the way down as well. His wheels, they do go round as well. Right, I've got another crazy comparison for you here then. So there is full tilt on that. I haven't got the full Titan, but I've got full tilt from the Titan, and I've just quickly pulled him off, to be fair. So I've pulled this bit off as well, so I need to take that off, but that's going to give you an idea. I just wanted to show you that is the full tilt figure from the Titan Trypticon, how small this thing is. Right, let's do some more of the other comparisons then. That's the new mainline Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime, huge compared to that. There's again a normal deluxe figure. Let's bring some of these legends back in just to give you an idea of the size of this little base. Let's put these arms down. And the little Optimus Prime here. There you go. Hopefully, as I say, you're getting an idea and a sense, I suppose, exactly that, for how small it is and how clever it is. Really intricate, really clever. There's not much more to say about this mode. I'm just going to very quickly show you in a teensy bit more detail. Pick it up. So full tilts come off. You can of course close these over if you want. You can bring the guns up and down. Yeah, there you go. That is that particular base mode. Right, one other quick mode, which is the cube mode. We're going to come back and have a look at that right now. Okay, so this is the fourth official mode. This is the cube. As I say, it is an official mode. The image I used from the Weibo page of the actual Doctor Wu, but again, the really strange thing is the instructions do not show it. So as I said, all you've got is main base into rolling base, and then rolling base. Well, all of a sudden you've got dragon into main base. So that is why I've done a separate tutorial video, because this also takes such a long time. This isn't the greatest mode, to be honest. It's just, as I say, a little bonus. Maybe it's good for storage, I'm not 100% sure, but it works. It does work. What I wasn't going to do, but I've decided to do it, and this I suppose is the bonus now with having that tab's just come out of there, that's all I'm looking at. Having brought this as being one of the later releases of it, since this has been released, there's been 2 fan-made modes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back and with the attempted extra fan modes of these as well. So we're going to come back and have a look at fan mode 1. Right then, so this is fan mode 1, and again, no instructions on this. I've just seen a picture on the Doctor Wu website as well. So this is like a hawk mode, which, to be honest, it doesn't look too bad, especially from this sort of angle. I suppose in a way that does look a little bit like a beak, and these are the eyes. I suppose you can also make out that these are the wings. but it's basically just an upside down main base, so anybody can work that out. I've not put it in the transformational process video for exactly that reason. Of course, I'm holding it by his head, otherwise it just looks completely weird. I suppose that's a flying dragon mode as well then, isn't it? But there is a hawk mode. It's not too bad. Again, it's just something bonus. It's just something that they found that they can do, and I love it when they do things like this, and that's exactly why I thought, well, I might as well feature it on here. So that is the first fan made mode, and we're going to come back for the final time now in his other fan made mode, which to be honest is one of my favorites. Okay then, final fan mode, and this again is genius. This is of course a scorpion. I like the look of this. This again is very clever, and it actually, you know, it does sort of pass for a scorpion in honesty. It looks great. It's just, again, genius. Whoever made this, full credit to yourself. Unfortunately, I haven't got the name, otherwise I would be crediting you to this. I think it's very clever, and of course you can as well still attach full tilt on there as well, a bit like obviously you could put fast track on the base of Scorponok as well. So that's probably another reason why I really like this mode, to be honest. And again, if you want to have a go at making it yourself, this is it from all angles. Again, the images I've just used are exactly of this, so have a good go and good luck if you want to do this. Now, I did say this would be the final part, but I do think it's only fitting that we finish it up with him in his proper mode, which is the way I'm going to be displaying him. So we are going to come back for the very final time, I promise, straight after this. Okay then, and for the final time, purely because this is definitely how I'm going to be displaying him, because I think he looks fantastic, and I've just had a thought as well, I'll show you how he compares to some mainline Micromaster figures, again just to give you an idea, and Battle Masters, of how small he is. But there you go, that's the final comparisons, that's the final look at him. You can obviously tell, hopefully, by this video that I think he's fantastic. I'm going to leave a direct link for this guy in the comments as well. And again, if you are going to buy this from Shozy, please use my helper supporter reviewer code, which is Toys R Us, all one word. Once again, thank you ever so much for all the support. Hope you really like this. I really do. He's going on display right now. And take care, everybody.